This is the scene. This is the scene. Stab the stand. What's up, YouTube? We are back with another fight analysis, this time for JoJo's Part 5, Giorno versus Diablo. Now for me, it feels like it's been a while since I've done a fight analysis. It's actually been like 2 weeks. But you know, we're getting back into the series. We're almost to Part 6, and that's going to be all of JoJo's once we get to that. But yeah, if you're new to the fight analysis series, pretty much I go over top anime fights, and we just analyze them. We rewatch them and actually give ourselves a chance to, you know, actually go over what happened. So of course, if you like this sort of series, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, you know the deal. Let's get into this. Starting with, you know, where does this fight really start? I'm not gonna say this is where the fight really starts, because it's not. This is not where the fight starts. But this moment was so cool, I feel like I have to include this in this video, so we're gonna go over this real quick. And this is pretty much Diablo pulling up on Poneglyph. He activates it and lets his second personality take over. I would say this is harder than the Dio stare scene, because this is him both revealing his identity and, you know, bringing back that fear in Poneglyph. Now, while that's a great moment, that's not really where the fight starts. Let's get into where the fight starts. And that is after they know that the second personality of Diablo is hiding in one of them. And Giorno's finally figured this out, and he's going to do a test to try and see who it really is. He has his blood dripping on his hand. Diablo stands so crazy, just because they don't really know when it's actually been activated. And activated. Like, no sound, no nothing. It's just the blood drops switch from a few drops to a lot. And there he is. What was her name? Trixie or something? He was hiding in her. While he tries to counter, he gets his arm sliced off. Not even counter, just react. He just tries to react and he gets his arm sliced off. At this moment, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I don't even know who's in whose body. I know Giorno's in his own body, but I don't know who's in whoever else's body. Oh! Lucky they gave us a diagram of swapped souls. Sticky finger! Damn! Once again, this stand is just devastating. And now he's just on the run. He's not trying to suit his own body. It's not that Mista was hesitating because it was his own body. He was hesitating because he has no shots in the chamber. All 6 shots he shot in those 5 seconds where he was running away. Which also means all of them missed, because when he's in that stop time, he's pretty much invincible. And he stops time again so that he could get away. But they're still tracking. They're after the REQUIEM. He's figured out the trick behind REQUIEM, and they're running out of time. Damn. So now he has the stand arrow. It could mean that they're cooked. 5 seconds of skip time plus REQUIEM. What could they possibly give this man? I don't even want to imagine Diablo REQUIEM. So Giorno's always on some smart shit. He found a way to attack from long distance using ants. I actually have no idea what he turned into life to make those ants. It literally could have been anything. It could have been dirt. It could have been anything to make those ants. But now it's a fight to who could get the arrow first. I feel like Diablo could skip time here. Oh. What in the, like, what type of predict was that? Like, I don't remember this at all. I guess he did skip time at some point, killed someone, threw him in the air, and he fell down exactly where the bullets were going to land and that person's hand hit the arrow back to him. Let's just say, like, if anyone's mastered their stand ability, let's say it's Diablo. Yeah, no, he mastered it. He mastered it more than Dio mastered his time skip. He mastered it more than Pucci mastered the reset of the universe. King Crimson's predictions. Now he goes on a whole yap streak on how good he is in his predictions. He'll never be able to beat me. Yada yada, right? Clean. Everything feels so random, but what happened here was Triss used her stand. Diablo pretty much forgot that he was sharing a body with someone. And so she's still alive, and she used her stand to save the day, just barely. I'm not even going to get into what she did because that is a bit too much. Making bullets elastic. Let's just say that she came in clutch. If only you hadn't been born. Damn. Instead of going for the arrow, he just attacks his own body and attacks his daughter. Since he sends his body flying, he just sends it towards the arrow. So he hits himself, but also with purpose. She passes out. Now the arrow is up for grabs. It's really up to chance who gets it. Does the man who's getting launched with two different souls, two different stands in him, reach the arrow? Does Mista and Trish's body get it? Or does Giorno get it? So yeah, he nicks himself with the arrow, what he thinks is the arrow. But yeah, he couldn't even grasp it. What happened was, since he killed Silver Chariot's Requiem, their bodies and souls are going into their original bodies. It's just something that he didn't predict, I guess. So Chariot destroys his light. The stand is completely dead now. Maybe it's just luck that Trish's soul, like, her soul was floating to heaven. Because of this whole, like, soul wind that's going on, her soul gets sent back down. I feel like that was kind of like luck, but it's also what the author intended. Maybe it only worked because she was in Mista's body, but now Mista is in this like broken body. So I feel like in terms of that, like, his soul should be start floating towards heaven. But no, Maturity fully dies. The more I watch this fight, I definitely realize that this is probably like one of the most confusing, the most JoJo of fights, because like so much is happening. So much that seems like just so, like, bodies switching, souls flying around, arrows going through the hand, seconds being skipped. Probably the most crazy, like, final battle. Luckily, I think Mista is going to be able to hold on to his life more than Trish. Such a goated scene. Giorno held on to his boss for so long. He definitely wasn't ready to let go, I guess. And the arrow coincidentally lands in his hand. Not even that it lands in his hand. I believe it's just that since Charity was the one who destroyed Silver Chariot and whatever, he was able to, like, you know, direct where it went. So Diablo starts tweaking out because he couldn't even get the arrow. Why does it feel like the more into JoJo's you get, the more the villain's like, I need to run away. I need to hold my tongue. I need to get away from this whole scenario. Maybe because they're like 1v6 in everyone. Like, it is valid. And this is the scene. This is the scene. So now Diablo goes on the attack. Not even because, like, he knows he could get away, or like he could try and get away. Now he's thinking if he does get away, he's not going to be able to reclaim the title again. Stab the stand. He just saw his vision of the future. His vision of the future is that Giorno is going to die from this. You know, like, it's pretty much not going to work out. He's going to have to, like, start tweaking out and whatever, right? Which is pretty much what kind of happens. And, like, your old stand dies. Punches through the old stand. It still does hit Giorno, so he does kind of feel that hit. But it also reveals his new stand. And I don't know why this happens with his stand ability. The arrow becomes part of his stand. Or maybe he just used his abilities to make the arrow come to him. That's definitely a possibility. But yeah, no, the arrow is now in his veins. Out with the old and in with the new. Flying like a god. If this isn't the most like flex ever. New stand, new pose, and flying. And the fact that Giorno isn't saying a single thing right now is the funniest thing. I'm telling you guys, in anime, if they get a new power-up, they start acting different. Minimal words, different looks, different faces. Solar beam. And that, as essence of his ability, the scorpion stabbed him. And Diablo did have a quick reaction, but even that wasn't good enough. Now, the gun's reloaded. Giorno starts moving. In time, begins to skip once more. Blood on his eyes. Throwback to Dio. Dio did that same exact thing. He was bleeding out. Used his blood to blind his opponent. And now he has another false vision of the future. Very tough. Everything starts to reverse in that stop time. Even the bullets. He still has that vision of his success, his vision of the future, and then infinity of him in his own time. Replaying out that one scene, just time reversing over and over. And this is pretty much Requiem kind of taking over control of like Diablo's whole domain. Now he's in control of that stop time. Those 5 seconds, Requiem's in control of that. And the stand begins to talk. He pretty much changed reality, if that makes sense. Like that's what he did in his stop time. He changed reality. And now he gets clocked. So in essence, he reversed his ability, sent him back to his starting position. And we end with the classic Muda Muda. And that launches him into the river. So his body sent down the river, and they think he's dead. Diablo gets to start his eternity dying. This is his first death. Killed by some random maniac crackhead in the bottom alley, in the sewers. And right before he dies, he lived that painful experience. He gets teleported somewhere, and he starts getting dissected while alive, feeling every ounce of pain. Like he's really getting that golden experience, living the life of other people. Trips into the street. Yeah. Right before he gets hit by the car, he figures out what's going on. So we'll stop there. The fight's pretty much ended. The fight is actually like really long. You know, I only started this when I want to say the fight really started between Diablo and Giorno. But Diablo was like holding his own for the longest time, and he was doing a lot more than just what happened, just what I showed you guys. Now this fight, I definitely want to say it's probably like the craziest one. Like I still think like this is crazier than part 6. I know to a lot of people part 6 makes less sense than this, like than part 5. But like just in terms of what's going on, part 5 is so crazy. Souls, like I'm gonna say this again. Souls flying around everywhere, like Freaky Friday, bodies changing with whoever you're closest to, arrows going through your hand, and a lot of near deaths. Too much. And to top it off, something even crazier than all that happened to end the fight. Diablo experiencing countless deaths, infinity deaths, but not actually dying, just endless pain. It's definitely something that like no anime has done before. Of course, like, you know, JoJo is always exploring that, what some anime has never done before. It's not your classic, oh, character just gets a power up type thing. It was a lot more complex and like, you know, played out. So this fight, I definitely want to give this a high score. This one, I'm gonna say this fight is a 10 out of 10. Now, could it have been better? I don't even think so. Just in like how they're able to really move around each other's stand abilities. Diablo was already OP, so pretty much felt like it was just a small chance at victory, and they couldn't just, you know, have a classic fight like Dio and JoJo had. It had to be different. They say like Requiem's the strongest stand in existence. We haven't even seen the full extent of Requiem's abilities, and it's pretty much sentient. That's why I'm gonna give this like a 10 out of 10. It was solid. Even for me, it's kind of hard to get into like a full analysis of this. The author doesn't answer all the questions. The author doesn't answer how much could Requiem do. It just only touches the surface of that. But other than that, we analyzed what we could of this fight. Stay tuned. We will get to part 6, and then we'll really get to dive into Made in Heaven. So be on the lookout. I'll catch you guys in the next one.